welcome to the 10th edition of the Monsoon Cup here in Malaysia. The same famous and nail-biting event, but this time hosted at the Country Gardens Resort in Johor Bahru for the very first time. It's the 7th and final stage of the 2014 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. This event will not only see the first winner of the new Tunku Laksmana Johor Trophy, but also see the new world champion crowned. It promises to be a spectacular finale to an epic year of match racing. Over the last 6 tour events, it's been a spectacular rollercoaster ride. The first stop was Match Race Germany, a historically light air event, Ian Williams of GAC Pindar taking the win. It was a home victory for Bjorn Hansen at the Stena Match Cup Sweden. Third stop, and at a new venue on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour in Sopot, Poland, it was Williams who triumphed again. Taylor Canfield of US1 won the Chicago Match Cup for the second time on the trot, and also won at another new venue on the tour, the Dutch Match Cup. In the penultimate event, the Argo Group Gold Cup in Bermuda, it wasn't a tour card holder who took the win, but Johnny Berntsen of the Stena sailing team. Coming into this final event, the overall leaderboard looks like this. In first place, it's Ian Williams on 94 points. In second, and with 88 points, is Taylor Canfield. And in third spot, with 76 points, is Mathieu from Team LunaJets. In fourth is Bjorn Hansen and the Hansen sailing team on 69 points. Keith Swinton, heading Team Alpari FX, is on 58 points and in fifth spot. This World Championship deciding event will see 12 teams racing for the Monsoon Cup, 5 of which Ian Williams, Taylor Canfield, Mathieu Richard, Bjorn Hansen and Keith Swinton have a chance to win the world title. But all eyes are on the defending world champion Taylor Canfield and the current tour leader Ian Williams, who's looking to make his 5th world title win. Williams was pipped to last year's world title by Canfield, who won his first crown with his team US1.
This could be the 5th World Championship for GAC Pindar, but we're not really thinking about that now. We're at the moment thinking about Bjorn Hansen in race 1, and if we can get 1 win on the board, then maybe we can get another one.
It is a tight battle between us and Williams, and we do know what we need to do to win the championship this year. So it's just going to come down to seeing how we finish after the qualifying stages, and at that point knowing if it's in our control to win the championship this year.
Nothing to lose really, if we don't get it this year, then there's always next year. So yeah, we're going to go out and try and enjoy ourselves and take each race as it comes.
Of the 12 teams, 7 tour card holders were competing.
I'm Phil Robertson, this is Walker Racing.
Keith Swinton, and this is Team Alpari FX.
Bjorn Hansen, and this is Hansen Sailing Team.
David Gilmour, this is Team Gilmour.
Ian Williams, this is Team GAC Pindar.
Mathieu Richard, Team LunaJets.
Taylor Canfield, and this is US1.
Along with the tour card holders were another 5 teams consisting of wild cards and qualifiers, including familiar faces here, Swede Johnny Berntsen, France's Pierre-Antoine Morvan, Switzerland's Eric Monin, and 2 local teams, Jeremy Koo from Malaysia and Maximilian So from Singapore. To have 2 teams from the region competing in this Monsoon Cup is testament to Malaysia's commitment to promote sailing to a country surrounded by the sea. One of the key sponsors of the event is KBS, the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
The youth program started a year ago. We have put about 8,000 plus students through this program. Prior to this, there was zero, nothing. So next year, by the next Monsoon Cup, we should be hitting about 17,000 in total.
The aim of the project is firstly talent identification, and we're looking for kids and planting seeds, I guess, also for the future of Malaysian sailing.
We have traditional sports in which we excel in, badminton, hockey, field hockey, but sailing is something in which we have a long-standing tradition.
These kids are sitting in the same seats that their idols, their champions are sitting in. They do everything. They drive the boat, they steer the boat. Within a very short period, these children are actually racing the boats. It's like sitting in the driver's seat of the F1. You know, there's not too many chances that children get to do that, and Monsoon Cup is providing those opportunities for the children to sit in that driver's seat.
Well, the Ministry of Youth and Sports Malaysia is proud to continue to be the main sponsor for the Monsoon Cup. This has been to over 180 countries around the world. It's great visibility for Malaysia, it's great visibility for Johor Bahru this year, and also for my ministry, putting my ministry on the map as a government agency that's supporting sailing, but also using an international event to develop the sport of sailing amongst young people in Malaysia.
You know, the age group ranges from 10 to 16. For me, the biggest buzz is these smiles you get on these children.
Teams from 9 nations had been invited to race, but before the teams went head-to-head, it was time for the official opening ceremony. It was the usual Malaysian fanfare with the royal family, dignitaries, VIPs and the crews rubbing shoulders. With a new Monsoon Cup venue, the international teams had to try to get to grips with new conditions, with no team having any real advantage of ever having sailed here before. Of the 12 teams, only 8 would advance to the knockout stages. Over 3 days, the 12 teams fought hard to make it through to the quarter-finals, with collisions, near misses and plenty of yelling. But there was one match that stood out, the pivotal standoff between the 2 main contenders for this year's world title, Ian Williams of GAC Pindar and Taylor Canfield of US1. Going into their head-to-head, the US1 skipper had a perfect score of 7 wins and no losses. Williams with 8 wins and just 1 loss. It was a crucial match that Canfield really needed to win, as topping qualifying would give him the right to pick Williams in the quarter-finals. If Williams topped the leaderboard, he would have first choice of opponent, and that was unlikely to be Canfield. This result was all about controlling the rest of the regatta.
So Williams has 15 seconds to burn, 30 seconds on the clock.
Has he got a start on starboard? Has he got a start on starboard?
Here comes the luff from Canfield. Williams in a bit of trouble. Windward boat. Will he tack? Will he get
tacking,
clear?
he is tacking. He is tacking.
Now,
he
both
is tacking.
very close.
Look at it. Look at his main field on port.
Williams is trying to get through the tack. We're going to see a split tack start. Taylor Canfield off to the left-hand side. Williams off towards the boat.
Oh, come on.
And I think that's a penalty on Williams. Oh, a green flag.
We're going to be strong.
I think Williams was lucky, to be honest, to get away with that, not get a penalty there. I think that right decision from the umpires, the green flag. We've got a dial. Williams bring the bow down at Taylor Canfield, who goes for the duck. Williams turning up nicely through the luff as Canfield turns up onto his stern. And Williams taking that left-hand side. Now, for me, Williams had the slam dunk there if he wanted it. Taylor Canfield was absolutely roaring. He has amazing execution, Canfield, sailing really fast and smooth through that turn, and it looks like they're nicely pressured up for the tack. And Canfield has used that to sail right by Williams, tacking up pressure, keeping the boat rolling, whereas Williams did those 2 tacks, slightly lighter. Canfield now has the lead.
Wow.
Here we go. We see the boat on the right-hand side getting another slight of pressure. Williams bringing the bow up.
Simon,
hook or no
we've
hook?
got a match on our hands here.
Williams getting a massive knock. And Taylor Canfield ducking. Whoa, advantage Canfield as he slides across the stern of Williams. Williams right into the tack. Now we're going to see a luff from Taylor Canfield. The jib is down. So now it's Taylor Canfield tacking.
Nice job.
Now for me, Taylor Canfield going for the jugular there. And I think perhaps making a little bit of a mistake, going for something that wasn't quite there. He dropped his jib, he went for the hard luff. Huge shift on Williams. It's just happening. It's the snakes and ladders are coming down the course, the shifts left and right, huge pressure differentials. And right in the middle of that, Taylor Canfield trying to stick one into Williams with his jib down. This is unconventional freestyle match racing at its best.
I don't think so.
Now Taylor Canfield is very lifted and he is having to tack off a lift. You heard him say, I'm out of phase. He is not loving this at all.
Well, Simon, let's look at it. The jib down didn't work. The luff didn't work. He slowed himself down and he tacked himself out of phase. All the while, Williams was in phase, going fast, and he got the breeze first. And there is the difference. It's got to be about 7 or 8 boat lengths now.
Today, the victor is Ian Williams. GAC Pindar coming through, taking the yellow flag, a potentially hugely significant win for the Brit.
So it would be Ian Williams of GAC Pindar in the driving seat and at the top of qualifying going into the quarterfinals with 10 points. Taylor Canfield of US1 also on 10 points. Phil Robertson of Walker Racing on 7.5 points. Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets on 7 points. Pierre-Antoine Morvan of Van Aglo's sailing team and Eric Monin heading up Team Sailbox, both on 6 points. The final 2 making the quarterfinals were Keith Swinton of Team Alpari FX and David Gilmour of Team Gilmour, both scraping through on 5 points each. So 8 were through to the quarterfinals. The 2 event qualifiers from Malaysia and Singapore, skippered respectively by Jeremy Koo and Maxi So, were out, as were 2 Swedish teams, winner of last October's Argo Group Gold Cup in Bermuda, Johnny Bernson, and tour card holder Bjorn Hansen. All were going home.
It's a little bit empty. We don't really know what to think. I mean, I haven't been able to put the boat on the starting line at the right position compared to the other boat, and that of course is really important in this game. Last time we sailed together was in Bermuda in October. While these guys were on the southern hemisphere training, we were sitting having some hot glögg in the ski lounge instead. But just to admit that the other guys were better than us, and just to congratulate them, but it's extremely disappointing at the moment.
Join us after the break where we see the quarterfinals kick off. Welcome back to the 7th and final stop on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour here at the Monsoon Cup in Malaysia. It's where the 2014 ISAF World Champion will be crowned and for the very first time hosted at the Country Gardens Resort in Johor Bahru. An honour for the World Match Racing Tour and for the state of Johor.
My name is Arif Yap. I'm the event manager for Innovative Sdn Bhd, the company that organizes the Monsoon Cup in Malaysia.
New venue here in Johor. It's very hot as usual, very humid, and you know, just it's been a great breeze so far.
It's close to Singapore. It's got beautiful beaches and seaside. Sailing conditions here are great as well. So I think in terms of the final product for the racing and all that, it's perfect venue. Top sailors coming in, Ian Williams, Taylor Canfield, you know, these are crowd pullers. So by bringing top sailors in and having an international event in Johor, I think it will contribute a lot to the tourism in Johor.
I think the area inshore is terrific. There's pools, there's shops, there's good places to hang out for people come here and watch, and yeah, it's going to be a fun week.
Well, the Monsoon Cup is the second largest international sporting event in Malaysia, second only to the F1, but we are a very, very close second.
12 teams from 9 countries had come to try and win the Monsoon Cup, and for a selected few their chance to win the ISAF World Championship, but only 8 had made it through to the quarterfinals. With the leaderboard looking like this: Ian Williams of GAC Pindar on top, Taylor Canfield of US1 just behind, and Phil Robertson of Walker Racing in 3rd. With Ian Williams winning that crucial qualifying match against Taylor Canfield, he had the pick of the other 7 sailors to race in the quarterfinals.
Who's it going to be?
We're going to sail David Gilmour from Team Gilmour. Good qualifying for Team GAC Pindar, 10 wins, 1 loss. It puts us top of qualifying. and gives us the pick. We picked Team Gilmour. You know, they've got the least number of wins of the people we could pick, so it seemed obvious to us.
We're really excited for the challenge ahead. And it's not going to be easy, but we're really looking forward to racing, and hopefully we can improve enough through the quarterfinals to beat him.
The GAC Pindar skipper was merciless in the pre-start of the first 2 matches, forcing the young Australian over the line in both starts and winning with ease. David Gilmour's starting just wasn't good enough for the inch-perfect Williams, who dispatched the young Aussie 3-0. Taylor Canfield of US1 had chosen Pierre-Antoine Morvan, heading up the Van Aglo sailing team.
We ended up picking Pierre-Antoine Morvan from France.
We know he's very strong because he won the World Tour last year and did very good results here. Each match we win is a bonus for us, and Canfield have a big pressure because he won't win the title.
Canfield was similarly brutal with his chosen opponent, wildcard entry Pierre-Antoine Morvan, the result also going 3-0. The US1 skipper showing he was on a mission. Defending Monsoon Cup champion Phil Robertson of Walker Racing had the 3rd pick and chose wildcard Eric Monin. Monin had shown good form in the regatta and had excelled at the 2014 Argo Group Gold Cup in Bermuda.
We went through to the quarterfinals. Pick was yesterday. We picked Eric Monin. He picked us. So yeah, it's going to be interesting racing against him. Just on paper, we probably picked the weakest guy. Non-tour card holder and someone who hasn't done as much match racing, especially in these boats over the years. So yeah, for us it wasn't a long, strenuous choice.
It wasn't really a surprise. Could have been either Ian or Taylor picking us. It was Phil, so yeah, nothing special about it.
It was a decision that Phil Robertson was soon aware could have been the wrong one. In the first 2 matches, Eric Monin took the wins. Robertson was on the back foot now and needed to win 3 straight races. Monin just 1. We join match 3 of Phil Robertson versus Eric Monin.
Back right, a little. Hold, cut, left! Cut right! Big right!
So here, both boats tacking, and Robertson is desperately trying to get the boat going. Can he bring the bow down? Robertson calls the cut, and he is sailing on starboard.
Time to boat.
Desperately trying to get the jib trimmed on. So Robertson timing his run back to the start there. I think Eric Monin just unable to control that tack, and he ended up tacking across Robertson on port. But here comes Monin now, coming into leeward, trying to force the luff in the final few seconds of this pre-start. Robertson has the lead, both boats tracking underneath the committee boat. Final few seconds, and Robertson has the control. He staved off that attack from Monin. And Robertson, fighting for his quarter-final life, has won that start, tacking at the pin to match Eric Monin onto port.
Robertson's timing was perfect, and he's won the start.
Setting head to win. Okay.
Looking like it's actually the yellow mark.
And go set, go hoist. My main, dump it.
So Robertson around, and Monin right on his tail. So
at us here, G.
Wow, Monin is right on Robertson's heels, and Phil Robertson has done an incredible job just to hold him off. Monin definitely has closed the gauge.
And Monin absolutely tight on the stern of Robertson. Which marks are they going to take? We have a split. Now Robertson looks to be slightly positioned between another match. We can see Gilmour and Williams coming upwind. And I just wonder if Robertson's going to be able to live there. He's sort of in the jet wash almost of 2 boats. And Robertson has gone from ahead to behind. I think we have a lead change.
Come back.
At the top mark, 48 seconds behind. Ouch.
This could be spelling the end of the Monsoon Cup for the reigning champion, and he seems accepting of his fate. There's Eric Monin, who passes Williams, and he passes Gilmour at the bottom of the track, and he passed Robertson at the top of this race to win it. Eric Monin knows he will go into the semifinals, and that's a big relief.
The defending Monsoon Cup champion Phil Robertson of Walker Racing was out of the regatta. A huge blow for the Kiwi, Monin showing he was a force to be reckoned with going into the semi-finals. In the final pairing, it was Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets up against Keith Swinton of Team Alpari FX.
Through to the quarterfinals here at the Monsoon Cup. We're up against our old adversary, Mathieu Richard, who we seem to race a lot in quarterfinal events.
We finished fourth of the round robin, so no choice for us for the opponent, and no one chose me. So once again, we will be against him, and that's okay. That's okay with that.
This was the only quarter-final that went down to the wire, running to all 5 matches. Both Swinton and Richard desperate to get through to the semi-finals. In match 4, Swinton had stayed in the game by defeating Richard. It was now 2-2. We join quarter-final match 4 between Richard and Swinton. A winner-takes-all match.
25 seconds to hit the pin, so a little bit of burn time for Swinton. Swinton bringing the bow up, electing to take the right-hand side from a lead position. We talked about that previously. Richard, I think, happy with the left-hand side. And as the gun sounds, Keith Swinton and Mathieu Richard both firing off the line.
Looked to be a port tack start for both boats, but Swinton will tack immediately in what to my eye looks like a righty on the line. Richard sees it as well. Swinton takes an early lead.
Pole set on at the mast. Blue sneaked all the way to the end of the pole and then the hoist.
See how the French team does at the set. Equally good set.
And it is Richard that is marching forward now. Swinton, with a small mistake in the positioning on this run, has left himself open to the onslaught of Mathieu Richard, who is getting richer. As we go round this bottom mark, there are absolutely inches separating these two boats, and we will have to decide who is going to be our semi-finalist on the next lap. Mathieu Richard has picked up that burst of pressure. Right now, it is the Frenchman that is getting stronger and stronger and stronger as we approach the top mark.
And now it is Richard's race to lose. And close behind is Keith Swinton with a tack set. Will Richard be able to maintain that lead, or can Swinton go on the attack?
And now we see Swinton jibing back towards that pressure, back towards the elevator.
Richard continues on port and lets him go.
Richard jibing to match.
He's soft down there. Good work, guys.
You hear Swinton saying he's soft down there. Good work, guys. Is he soft enough?
Yeah, big so.
Now Richard looking to build speed. He'll be trying to keep that lower position to prevent Swinton being able to jibe, and Swinton realizing that, looking for that early jibe. Now he is still carrying more pressure down into this match, and Richard jibes to protect. This could be the defensive move. This could decide the event. Mathieu Richard bringing his bow up to try and match the onslaught from Swinton. Mathieu Richard is lower, coming up with a big luff from Mathieu Richard. Keith Swinton in the windward position. He is keep clear. Richard has to give him room to keep clear. And another luff from Richard. The bow spinning up into the breeze of Swinton, who now looks to turn away. Now, the first luff looked like a green, but what about the second? And the umpire is holding a blue flag. Keith Swinton has been awarded a penalty in this critical exchange of blows down this run.
Unbelievable turn of events. Mathieu Richard has said, if you're going to pass me, I'm going to make you work for it and make it hurt, and it definitely stings now if you're the Australian team. Keith Swinton cops a penalty and is still behind the Frenchman. After an incredible fight of these two teams exchanging blows and even penalties, Mathieu Richard has earned the right to join the other three into the semi-finals of the Monsoon Cup.
Ian Williams of GAC Pindar, Taylor Canfield of US1, Eric Monin of Team Sailbox and Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets had all made it through to the semi-finals. For Ian Williams and Taylor Canfield, their sights were set firmly on the World Championship title. Join us after the break as the semi-finals begin and we find out who will go through to the finals and ultimately win the Monsoon Cup and the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Welcome back to the Monsoon Cup in Johor, Malaysia, the 7th and final stop on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the regatta that will decide who will also be crowned ISAF World Champion. We're down to the last 4 teams into the semi-finals. Ian Williams of GAC Pindar, Taylor Canfield of US1, Eric Monin of Team Sailbox and Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. Ian Williams had the choice of opponent and revealed that he would race Eric Monin. For Williams, all his choices were tough, but if he could beat the Swiss sailor in the semi-finals, Williams would become ISAF Match Racing World Champion.
We are very happy to be in the semi-finals. We had a great series against Phil Robertson, and we are facing now Ian Williams.
It's never an easy choice when you get to the semi-finals, but we felt that he had the least experience, particularly in these types of boats.
We've beaten him in Bermuda, so I don't think it was a very easy call for him to pick us. But anyway, yeah, it was quite logical, and what we thought he will still pick us, as he has something to correct in his mind. Of course, we will try to make the series a bit longer.
We know that if we win the semi-final, we'll be world champions, so that'll be the main focus for sure.
Lots of pressure on him, a bit less on us, so that's good for us. We hope to have some good matches.
Taylor Canfield was, by default, up against Mathieu Richard.
Through to the semi-finals, we're pretty pleased with our performance so far in the event. We're sailing well as a team, and unfortunately we did not have the choice again in the semi-finals, so we will be racing Mathieu Richard.
It will be obviously very, very tough. It's a very strong team. They are defending world champion. They did an impressive score here so far with 13 wins, I think, and just 1 loss. So that's obviously a very strong team, but we are really in a good shape as well, and I'm sure that we can do it, and we will do everything we can to beat them.
We've had plenty of great matches against them, so it should be a good battle.
It was the first to 3 points, with Ian Williams dominating Swiss sailor Eric Monin in the first 2 matches. Williams sailing with pinpoint accuracy, Monin was now on the back foot. For Ian Williams, skipper of GAC Pindar, the next 3 matches were not just any semi-final matches to any regatta. This was his chance to make match racing history and be the first sailor to win 5 ISAF Match Racing World Championship titles, a culmination of a lifetime of sailing.
Around 10 or 12, I was mad keen sportsman. I was probably keener on rugby and hockey in those days than I was on sailing. But I didn't really envisage being a professional sportsman. You know, you look at the guys on TV, and you sort of have dreams that maybe at that age that you could be, but at the time it didn't really appear to be a pathway for me to be a professional sportsman. I guess it was only really when I got to a little bit older and the opportunity came along in match racing where I could really see that pathway. And once it was there, I thought I'd go for it and see if I can walk down that path. It's the competition. If I'd been a great rugby player, I'd have loved to have been a rugby player. If I'd been a great hockey player or tennis player, I really enjoy the competitive side. Turns out sailing was my sport, and it was the one that I was good at, so the one I pursued. First Briton to win a match racing world championship, first European to win multiple world championships. Getting out and really challenging yourself against the other best sailors in the world is really what brings me back. So we've got Jerry Mitchell on the main sheet, the grey hair on the team. He's sort of the oldest guy. He's been around the world sailing, I think, 3 times.
It's an obsessive thing when you do what we do, and generally when you're out for dinner, out for a beer, the topic of conversation always ends up coming back to sailing.
We have Mal Parker trimming. He's sort of the quiet guy on the team, but he's the guy that's always there getting the job done.
If we are in a very close match, it does get quite noisy and there's a lot of shouting, mostly at the other boat.
Hey, 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 hey! Brothers! Yeah, come on, give it to me, you're tacking. You're nowhere near there, mate.
We have Chris Main on tactics. He's probably the most effusive person on the team.
Don't do it, Eric! Come on, hit him, come on! Don't do it! Don't jibe there! Don't jibe there! Come on! Yes! Yes!
Nice one, mate.
We've got a constant ongoing battle as to what the best way around the course is.
It's strong tactically to jibe, Chris, but
A lot more pressure on this side.
all right, happy to go straight then.
I'm always looking to sail the fastest way around the course, and Ian's always looking to make sure we're in front of the other boat.
What do you want, Chris? I'm actually not agreeing at the moment, Chris. Have another look, please.
I really like the way he's explaining as a tactician what's going through his mind, and that keeps me updated on what's going on.
Good calls, Chris. They're really nice. It's not easy, eh?
We've got Graham Spence on the bow. He's been a competitor of ours for many years with Torvar Mirsky, so it's been really good having him come in and learn what they did as their team and what we can learn from their team.
It'll always pop up at dinner conversations where he'll be like, oh, I remember the third race of the quarterfinals at Match Race Korea in 2000 and whatever, and I'm like, I've got no idea, and he'll be like, oh, that penalty was ridiculous.
Penalty against Williams.
He's got a database in his mind. Every penalty that's gone against him, for him, every situation, every wind shift makes him a very powerful competitor. He's always learning, he's always developing.
It's fairly well known that I take quite an analytical approach to my sailing and probably to my life as well. It is that sort of logical outlook on things that I bring to the sport that probably comes across in my personality as well. We've had a good season, we've done half the job, we need to finish it off here, and we're confident that if we bring our A game, we've got enough. But as always, particularly when it's very shifty, it's easy to make mistakes, so we need to be wary of that, and we'll just keep chipping away. It is a cliche, but one race at a time.
And all Williams had to do was keep his calm and win just one more match out of the next 3. Could he take an historic 5th World Championship win after so narrowly missing out at the Monsoon Cup last year to Taylor Canfield? We join match 3 of their semi-final. It's Ian Williams versus Eric Monin.
They have a lot of time to waste here. Williams picking a very early lead time. But he's doing a good job of it so far. Monin having to twist and turn to stay behind. He knows that if he overlaps above.
Hey, no way, don't go in there. Hey, Prodes, there's no space. No space, full speed.
Now this could see the umpires intervene. Williams suggesting that there was no room inside Williams, but Monin looking for the luff. Let's see what the umpires say.
He's inside, he can't force his way in. Come down. Burn time.
Monin there, just managing to get his bow in, forcing Williams up off the exclusion zone. That has trashed Williams' lead back time as Monin now commits above, and Williams comes in for a massive luff. He has plenty of time to burn as we enter the final stages of this pre-start.
Jib down.
And Williams has managed to shut the door, I think, on Eric Monin. He can lay that committee boat, and Monin is boxed off to the right-hand side, so the quick response from Williams saves the day. At the moment, the British skipper still under control.
5 seconds to go. Williams puts the bow down and says, let's go. He's going for the start. He's bow forward ahead. He takes an early advantage and shuts out Eric Monin at the start.
And that is the way you want to start a potentially World Championship winning race. Bow forward ahead of your competitor.
C'est parti.
Williams has tacked onto port. Monin will tack back, as you say, Simon, to get out of phase with him, trying to take a bite out of him. He doesn't want to let Williams sail in the same piece of water on his breeze on the same tack. Next move is Williams.
As we come back, Monin has, I think, gained a small amount there. Feels fast in for the time those two boats came back together.
It's a tack jibe set in the wind shadow of Monin. That is a very difficult maneuver to pull off and still stay ahead with Monin so close behind. Mark number 1. With the World Championship on the line, Williams just leading.
And it has got very light at the bottom of the course. Williams just trying to plot his way down this bottom gate, staying between those two marks and then diving or tacking out around either side of the race course.
Williams could be in a little bit of pressure here to keep this lead. Here we go, Leeward Gates. Williams will turn right. Monin jibes. Will he split or follow Williams around?
Both boats leading almost simultaneously around their respective marks at the bottom gate.
Big gains by Monin.
This is it. This could be the defining moment of this race. Monin coming in with starboard advantage. Ian Williams looking for the cross. 4 lengths out, he didn't have that. Just picking up a little burst of pressure just when he needed it and sliding across the bow of Eric Monin at the top of this race course.
Monin on the attack, charging forward, just reeling him in ever so slightly. He hasn't been able to convert yet, but on this final run, Eric Monin is within range to attack Williams's breeze.
Hey, come on, windward boat! Windward boat,
There's
flag
the love
him!
from Williams,
Flag him!
closing down the
Flag him!
gauge.
Flag him! Hey, that's a slow turn.
Jibing, jibing, jibing.
They're the
No
jibe.
pole jibe, no pole jibe.
Williams, no pole jibe, could be setting up to go right back. It's a slow jibe for Williams, but he is bow forward. Monin has trouble as well.
And he knew he was going to be hot out of that. There, the response, Graham Spence right up onto the bow, pulling the clue of that spinnaker down tight. And it is Ian Williams that comes through the line. They put their hands in the air, they punch. They have won the Alpari World Match Racing Tour title in a nail-biting finish.
Well done, Jerry.
And what a finish to that semi-final. Ian Williams 3-0.
Good race, guys.
And a 5th world title to his name.
It's incredible. When I obviously started sailing, but more when I went full time, giving up my job as a lawyer, it was I just was hoping to maybe win one world championship one day. So to have 5 is incredible. Great job by all these guys. I can't say enough. Chris Main, Mal Parker, Graham Spence, and Jerry Mitchell. Really pleased with Team GAC Pindar.
Ian Williams was the new ISAF World Champion and had made match racing history. But who would he be up against in the Monsoon Cup final? Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Monsoon Cup, the 7th and final stage of the Alpari World Match Racing Tour here in Johor in Malaysia. During the semi-finals, the new world champion was crowned. Ian Williams of GAC Pindar beat Eric Monin. Williams has gone into the history books to become the only skipper to have won the title 5 times. In the other pairing, it was defending world champion Taylor Canfield of US 1 up against Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. In the first 2 matches, Canfield had clearly lost his dominance against Richard, who was sailing superbly. In the 3rd match, Richard started with a penalty and was finally disqualified, giving the win to Canfield. With the scoreline now 2-1 against Taylor Canfield, the US 1 team desperately needed to win the next 2 matches to stay in the fight to get to the Monsoon Cup final. We join match 4 between Taylor Canfield and Mathieu Richard.
25 seconds now. Can Mathieu Richard keep control? His dirty air is spilling down onto Canfield, but he has to be very careful. The American right on his stern. Richard up and through the tack. Canfield's going to follow. He must think that Richard is early, otherwise he wouldn't attack there. Can Mathieu Richard make a start? There's the turn up and the luff from Mathieu Richard, looking to complete on starboard. Mathieu Richard completes his tack and Taylor Canfield forced to tack underneath. And Taylor Canfield has made another, what looks like a catastrophic mistake in that pre-start. And I just wonder, we saw the mistake from him in the first race. Are we starting to see the wheels fall off this American team?
Stand by.
Taylor Canfield was on fire in the beginning of this round. He didn't lose any races. In fact, Ian Williams lost the race before Canfield did. But Canfield lost in the first round of qualifying to Ian Williams. And since then, I don't think he's quite sailed the same since.
Both boats on the ley line, the poles are up, and they are going to be going down this run. And we have seen the downwind, perhaps one of the best passing lanes for that follow boat.
Well, and the advantage does shift to the following boat because he can blanket the lead boat's breeze. So Canfield is on the attack. Spinnaker on Richard's orange sail, just perhaps shaking a little bit, twittering, fluttering there, and that shows you that Canfield's disturbed breeze is starting to affect him a little bit. Here we go, left-hand turn.
Richard with the jibe, and his jib is not pulled in all the way, so a slightly shoddy rounding from Mathieu Richard, not that close to the mark, and Taylor Canfield exploiting that, turning up inside his line and looking for that tack away.
Nice job, guys.
And they round that mark absolutely on Mathieu Richard's button.
Well, if Taylor Canfield and crew want to get back into this match, that is exactly the way to do it. Now just a couple inches separating the two teams.
US 1 Sailing starting to fire on this second lap. I think spurred on by that lured rounding. They came back into Mathieu Richard, and I think they can sort of sense the hope back in the match.
Canfield is definitely within range to attack, but it's Richard's race to lose.
Go, Hoyt. Stand by for a match. Rod, anything the other way?
Yes, slightly better the other way.
Stand by. I think we just go. Driving now.
Now we've seen Canfield lead the decision making this time. He's gone for the jibe early, sailing off to that left-hand side of the course.
Canfield jibing back on port to reconnect with Richard. Is he close enough to attack?
The boats come back together. The advantage is swinging back towards Mathieu Richard. And it was key at the top. Taylor Canfield, right on his stern, had that opportunity to attack, chose to use that opportunity to split, if you like, to look for a little bit of extra pressure rather than attack him in a boat-on-boat sense. And I think that has just handed another couple of lengths advantage to Mathieu Richard, which I'm sure he will be thankful for.
Canfield has done the best job he could with the chips were dealt after that start, but it is Mathieu Richard who has done it again. The deuce over Taylor Canfield.
So it had come down to the last two teams to go head-to-head to decide who would win the Monsoon Cup here in Johor, Malaysia. It would be the new five-time ISAF World Champion Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar up against Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. So will Williams make it a double here and take home not only the World Championship but also the Monsoon Cup? Or will Richard, who's sailed an amazing regatta, get the win? For the final, it was now Williams up against his old adversary of more than 17 years, Frenchman Mathieu Richard heading up Team LunaJets. The fight was about to begin for the Monsoon Cup, a new trophy for a new venue here in Malaysia.
I'm Corinna Pike and I work at Garrard as the Bespoke Designer and Heritage Director. This is the Tunku Laksamana Johor Trophy. The Monsoon Cup taking place here in Johor Bahru for the first time needed a special new trophy. His Royal Highness the Sultan of Johor is celebrating his coronation, and it seemed very appropriate that this new trophy should have a lot of royal symbolism and emblems within it. You have the Johor crown as the finial, and on either side the supporters, the tigers of Johor. A trophy is such an important object. It is the custodian of great endeavour. So whichever is the winning team, this trophy will represent all their hard work for many, many years to come. It is a document of that achievement, that effort. So whoever wins on Saturday, that is absolutely going to be a fantastic moment.
Could Williams keep his composure in the Monsoon Cup, or would the relief of securing the World Championship have taken the edge off his game? It would be the first to win 3 points. The wind was disappointingly light for the final after a good week of breeze in Johor Bahru. It didn't matter what tricks the wind decided to play though. Whatever he was given, Williams was the master of time, distance and control in the pre-starts.
Williams now jibing back down for the line. He's leading Richard into it.
Ian Williams has had a fantastic start.
Richard had no answer as he was boxed out of the first 2 starts by the British crew and found no way back into those matches. Even in the 3rd match, when Richard finally found some clear air off the right-hand end of the line, Williams found the better breeze and raced away to an unassailable lead.
It is history making in front. Ian Williams and the GAC Pindar crew have won the Monsoon Cup and the Match Racing World Championship in amazing fashion.
Another 3-0 victory for GAC Pindar, who had won 19 of their 20 matches over the whole regatta, a notable achievement in itself.
I mean, these guys just did a great job, I think, with these shifty conditions to go 19-1 for the regatta. I couldn't be happier with the performance. It's obviously been a very good year for Team GAC Pindar. We've made 6 finals out of 7. I think as we mature, we've learnt the game more and more and more. Had a great team this year, as always. And I feel that the systems and the processes have really come together at this regatta. And, and they've all worked. So, yeah, as I say, couldn't be happier.
Ian Williams had won the Monsoon Cup against Mathieu Richard, a stunning performance from Williams, who'd only hours earlier won his 5th ISAF World Championship title. He has become the most successful match racing helmsman of all time, and he is the only skipper ever to have won 3 Monsoon Cups, the final event on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour.
We equalled Peter Gilmour in 2012, and that was fantastic in itself. We were very, very disappointed to miss out on the World Tour last year, and that really, I think, gave us the extra impetus to come back this year stronger, and 2014-15, make sure we got the title. So really couldn't be happier to have gone five times world champion.
From a total prize purse of $500,000 for the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, Ian Williams' season victory earns him $100,000. He also receives 310,000 Malaysian ringgits, approximately $86,000 for his Monsoon Cup victory. After finishing runner-up at the Monsoon Cup, Mathieu Richard finished 3rd overall in the Tour standings, behind Williams and Taylor Canfield. In the Petit final, Canfield beat Monin 2-0 in the light airs to secure 3rd place in the Monsoon Cup and 2nd overall in the World Tour season standings. So the Monsoon Cup results look like this. In 1st place was Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar. 2nd spot, Mathieu Richard of LunaJets, and 3rd, Taylor Canfield of US1. So after the final results at the Monsoon Cup, the World Championship leaderboard looks like this. In 1st place, it's Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar on 132 points. In 2nd, and with 116 points, is Taylor Canfield of US1. Mathieu Richard from LunaJets is in 3rd on 109 points. And Phil Robertson in 4th spot on 77 points. Now the teams have a few months to regroup and reset their goals in preparation for the Congressional Cup in Long Beach, California this May, the first event of the 2015 World Match Racing Tour.